Surprisingly, I've never made a video about compliments when it comes to men's fragrances. So here we are, boys. But of course I had to put my own curly twist on it. Cue the music! Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, also known as Curly Sense, and thank you so much for stopping by. Compliments. Some people live for them, some people don't want them, some people couldn't care less. But I think it's safe to say, for the most part, that getting complimented on your fragrance feels pretty damn good. Now, we all know that there's a lot of controversy when it comes to this subject, especially when you have people like,
Bro, I got like 16 compliments in half an hour.
So I thought to myself, why don't I hit you guys with some real world experience? Instead of telling you what I think would get you compliments, today I'll be sharing 10 fragrances that I've actually given completely unsolicited, genuine compliments to men on. On to the list. Kicking off the number 10 spot, and by the way guys, these are in no particular order, is a very popular fragrance that I've never actually spoken about on the channel. It's Allure Homme Sport Extreme by Chanel. Guys, I tried. So let me set the scene for you all. I was walking down the street, minding my own business when something cut my nose. I saw these two guys walking in front of me, so naturally I started creepily walking closer to them to get a better sniff. So I stopped them and I asked one of them, "Excuse me, sir, what are you wearing? You smell amazing." And he said to me, Chanel Silver. I said, "Extreme?" "Yeah, extreme." I said, "Sir, thank you so much. Have a nice day." This was actually a surprise to me because I had never really been crazy about this fragrance in the past. But no doubt, there is a very attention-grabbing central to this one. Coming in at number 9 is a fragrance that somehow claimed the term boxer dropper, but I'm here to tell you otherwise. It's Grita Ventus. I remember 2 years ago, I went out to a bar with my friends for my birthday.
By the way, thank you so much guys for your birthday wishes the other day.
There was a group of people sitting at the booth next to us, and I kept getting whiffs of this amazing sexiness. Now, keep in mind, I was a little tipsy, so I actually had the courage to walk up to this group and say, "Who here is wearing a Ventes?" It was a guy in a suit, and he stood up with a surprised look on his face and said, "Oh wow, good nose. It's me." I also wanted to mention that this was actually the very first time I smelled a Ventes on somebody else, so it might not be as popular as you think. Alright, next story. So once upon a time, I worked as a cashier at a Greek restaurant. By the way guys, if you're ever in Boston, go visit Gyro City and get yourself a nice pork gyro pita with some extra tzatziki in there and the fries always in the pita. Anyways, it was a regular work day of contemplating my life and asking myself, why am I here? When a man walked up to the register to order his souvlaki, instead of taking his order, I immediately asked him what he was wearing because he'd smelled incredible. His reply, Molecule 01 layered with Molecule 02. Now, at the time, I had no idea about this company, Eccentric Molecules, so I made sure to write it down on a piece of paper. Because let me tell you something, this combo is the definition of intoxication. I know these fragrances often get mixed reactions, and some people even say that they can't smell them at all. But in my experience, I find these very sexy. I also wanted to quickly mention that if you're looking to pick up any of the fragrances on this list, most of them can be found at fragrancebuy.ca, which is actually where I bought this guy over here. I know everybody has their go-to discounter websites, but Fragrancebuy is definitely one of the first websites that I check to get some very good deals. They have tons of hard-to-find designer and niche fragrances, and they're constantly updating their inventory every few days. So I highly recommend checking out their site if you haven't already, and I will leave a link down below. For the number 7 spot, we have a rather distinct scent profile that I've actually smelled on men a few times in my area, and it's Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Talk about a big scent trail that simply won't allow you to go unnoticed. I was doing some grocery shopping, shout out to Trader Joe's, I love you, sponsor me. And this guy literally had the entire store smelling like sweet, leathery hotness. Now, you might think that I'm a little bit biased because of my love for leather, but shortly after I complimented him, 2 other girls ran up to him to ask what fragrance he was wearing. So, if you're looking to get bombarded by females on your next grocery run, you know what to spray. At the number 6 spot is the black sheep of this list. Because most men tend to think that this is more on the feminine side. It's by Herrera's Mojave Ghost. So this just happens to be one of my favorite and most complimented fragrances for myself. But oh lord. But oh lord, did I see the light when I smelled this on a man. This time I was in Whole Foods and I remember thinking to myself, damn, this guy smells incredible. And then I was like, wait, I know this fragrance. It's Mojave Ghost. Needless to say, I now believe that this is 100% unisex and an amazing option for the spring and summer months. Such an easy to wear, unique freshie that will be pleasant for anybody around you. Alright guys, this next one is for all you men out there who are looking for some great reactions while keeping some dough in your pockets. It's Blue Seduction by Antonio Banderas. By now I'm known as the girl responsible for starting a small hype train behind this fragrance, but I'm so happy to hear that many of you actually really like it. Sure, it's quite synthetic and it doesn't have the best performance, but honestly, what can you expect at around $25 for a 200 ml bottle? I remember there was a man on the train wearing this. And to be honest, he wasn't exactly the best looking guy around, but this fragrance definitely upped his game and left a lasting impression on me. Coming in at number 4 is a fragrance that seemed to be super popular around 10 years ago, but nobody really talks about it anymore. It's Carolina Herrera 212 Men. I first smelled this one a little over a year ago when I was on my way to a singing gig, and I needed a lift from one of my bandmates. I got into his car and instantly had to ask him what he had on. To me, 212 is another unique freshie with a very sexy edge. It gives off a sporty and modern feel with a prominent grassy metallic accord that just smells so good in the air. I definitely recommend checking this out if you're tired of all the blue aquatic freshies that are on the market right now. The number 3 fragrance is probably one that I've given the most compliments to men on over the past few years, and it's Terre d'Hermès by Hermès. If you were to ask me what men's fragrance has the sexiest scent trail of all time, this would no doubt be a front runner. Whenever I smell this fragrance on a guy, it just gives him an aura of class, masculinity, and sex appeal. To anyone who has never smelled this fragrance or thinks it smells like a toilet cleaner or an old man, just do me this favor. Don't test it by spraying it directly on your skin or on a test strip. Spray it in the air, like this, and let it come to you and see if you like it. If you're a man who wants to get complimented by a woman, not a teenager, a woman, then this is it. My number 2 spot is a scent that seems to be quite common around where I live, but it never fails to stop me in my tracks. It's Baccarat Rouge 540 by MFK. This is truly a silent killer and a massive head turner. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, a dog, you're gonna get a compliment from me if you wear this. This sugary sweet and woody DNA is so simple and so cloned to death, but for some reason, every time I smell it, it's like I'm smelling it for the very first time.
Touch for the very first time.
It just makes me happy. And while I don't find it very masculine, when a man does wear this, it just seems to awaken my dominant side. You know, when I am the conductor of the symphony, if you know what I mean. And last but not least, I decided to end things off with a classic compliment getter that is still going strong even after more than 20 years. It's Bleu de Chanel by Chanel. Of course this had to make the list, because by now I'm pretty sure that almost every girl and their mama has complimented a man wearing this stuff. I personally like the EDT best, but you really can't go wrong with any of the versions. It's just one of those fragrances that you can put on anytime, anywhere, and nobody can deny that you smell amazing. For me, this is truly the king of blue fragrances, and I have a good feeling that I'll be recommending it for many years to come. Conversation time! I would love to hear what fragrance has gotten you the most compliments, or let me know your thoughts on the fragrances in this list. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and give this video a big thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. See you soon!